think diversity and inclusion is to acknowledge our own positions. It is to acknowledge the kind of access and opportunities that we have. And it is secondly to then think about that what kind of use we can make of these opportunities. So if there are some of us who have more privilege, who have had greater access to certain institutions, to certain technologies, how do we make sure that we can create platforms for people from different backgrounds, from traditionally underrepresented backgrounds, to start getting the same access?
Diversity is strength because it brings together people from various cultures and backgrounds, and a culmination of all of their skills together can create revolutions.
It is not that the differences are the ones which are dividing us. It is our inability in many ways to make sure that we are able to recognize, we are able to celebrate and leverage those differences.
And which is why empathy is important. And without understanding somebody else's perspective, how do you expect to connect to them? How do you expect to make them feel like they are a part of something larger?
For you to have a sustained level of diversity, you have to focus on inclusion, and that's where the organizations have to work a lot.
So inclusive to me means creating a common safe space where anybody feels open and safe to be who they want to be.
To me, inclusion means creating choices for people who don't have them today.
I think we have made significant strides for women in workplaces, women in leadership positions, and I think we're about to start replicating that for more marginalized groups like the LGBT group and like people with disabilities.
When suddenly you get a label as a different person, you feel aloof in a space. And that's when you want an ally in your workspace. You want somebody who would understand you, not judge you, and not have a bias against you.
Each of us brings a different idea, a different perspective, a different ability. Unless we find a way to gather the best of what all of us have to offer, then together the collective will prosper.
Events like Nasscom Global Inclusion Summit is also important because it's a marker of reminding people from the same areas of work to come together, to discuss, have a dialogue, and take this discussion forward in their workplace, putting it into practice and creating a deeper impact.
We need to do this collaboratively. We need to build an ecosystem, and the only way to do that is to come together as the first step. And events like these are actually just the first step in coming together for people to even get to know the kind of things that are out there.
The Nasscom Global Inclusion Summit is just not conversations. They are real world actions where we all are taking commitments. Here we are talking about, of course, the best practices. We are learning from each other. But we are also talking about how technology can make an impact when it comes to inclusion. There is an assistive technology show. But what is my favorite out here is the experience zone, because it's very important to understand what people who are marginalized, especially people with disability, what are the challenges they face. Our experience zone truly gives you a true experience of actually getting into the shoes of a person with disability and understand what are the challenges they go through and how can we sensitize ourselves and become more empathetic towards their challenges.